All right, Benny, let's get ready to do the comments section. We're going to try to move through these comments quickly, and that's going to be hard because there's so much happened this week, and some of this stuff is just absolutely bananas. But let's start out. Okay, we had an undefeated team, and then when they got defeated, you know who celebrated, right?
Yep. Whatever Miami Dolphins are still left living from the from the undefeated team, 72 Dolphins.
So again, congratulations to the 72 Miami Dolphins, the only undefeated team in NFL history. Speaking of, hey Ben, I took a quick look. I was on my Game Pass, and they had this thing like the history of the NFL, like where it came from, and
Right.
all of the leagues and the teams that preceded it that eventually became the current NFL.
Right.
We got to watch that together one day, even if we just stream it and put it on there. That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. And the intersection between baseball names and football names and, you know, all of that stuff. Yeah, that was some amazing stuff, man. I had to admit, I sat there while I was doing the numbers and it was running in the background. And I'm like, holy mackerel, you know. So, I mean, they even mentioned, for example, the Steagles, right? When the Steelers and the Eagles came together, I think it was wartime or something like that. And they didn't have enough people, so they combined teams, you know. And you know who else I thought? I thought about Blade Brown. I mean, if you want to know how a league goes from 0 to where it is now, you know, and all the teams that came and went, and to me, it was amazing. It was amazing. All right. Moving right along. Quarterback rankings based on QBR. Which do you prefer? QBR or what is it? What's the other ranking, the basic ranking that they have?
Completion percentage?
Passer rating. QBR versus passer.
QBR is passer rating.
No, they're actually different. QBR is something ESPN came up with. They have their own explanation for how you get a QBR. And if you go to their site, you can actually look at both of them, the passer rating and the QBR, and the numbers are a bit different. Okay, we'll move on about that, but this is ranked based on QBR, not on passer rating.
That's cool.
So, all right.
It's probably a little bit more complicated formula, but I think it's going to be relatively the same when it's all said and done. The numbers will be different, but the actual ranking of each player is going to be pretty close.
I brought this on. I don't know if you saw the play, but it was a play where the tackler came in, and the tackler's, okay, here's the tackler. Here's the running back. The tackler comes in, the running back drops his head, the tackler's way down here, they hit helmets, and they call helmet to helmet against the defender. I mean, really, it's just getting to the point where it's like, that's ridiculous.
First of all, if it was a running back, which I think it was, okay, they don't get the benefit of the whole defenseless player thing. Only receivers get that, okay? Not to mention that this guy saw him coming and dropped down to his level as if to actually protect his legs from being hit. He put his upper body and his head in harm's way. That was a horrible call. It was a terrible, terrible call. Really bad. It's like these refs are reaching for stuff now. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's and it's really putting a damper on the game. You know, it really is, man. All right, next up. Have you watched during the Monday Night Football game on a different channel? They're playing the game, but they have Peyton and Eli commenting the whole time, and then they're bringing in guests.
Yes.
In this particular case, they had Jon Stewart.
Yes.
I always love, first of all, I'm just fascinated to hear what comes out of Peyton's mouth as he's analyzing or breaking down the play and talking about what could have happened, what should have happened, and all of that stuff. Because this is Peyton Manning. Now, Eli's a little more in the back, but Eli will say a few things that make you go,
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, why have I really not? I've been skipping past it, going right to the game and just watching the game. But I'm definitely going to include more of Eli and Peyton on Monday Night Football when I'm watching.
I'll watch the replay of their version. I don't like to watch it while the actual game is on, but I'll watch the replay of their version for a few laughs. Peyton, the difference between them is Peyton likes to show off his knowledge, and Eli really doesn't. Eli's a little bit more subdued as far as saying, look at this formation, look at that. If he goes here and checks down to that, and this guy's got a blah, 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 blah. Peyton likes doing that stuff. Eli kind of keeps it to himself, but every once in a while, he'll go, nah, because da, 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 da. So, that's the difference. The guests are kind of haphazard, which is why they got burnt when they brought Marshawn Lynch on there. And the guy just starts spewing F-bombs and cursing all over the place. They're going to have to do a little better job of that.
Yeah. I missed that particular episode, but I love Jon Stewart. So anything Jon Stewart does, I'm on board for the most part. All right. It's time for the Vikings to blow up the Kirk Cousins-Mike Zimmer partnership. Can you believe they're actually doing articles now? This is thebiglead.com. It says here, thanks to the 2-year extension Cousins received in 2020, Minnesota can't get rid of the quarterback without facing a dead cap hit of about $45 million. Straight from the article.
I mean, that's like half of the 84 that he got. That's crazy. Some people I think I've heard more complaints about Zimmer than I've heard about Cousins. They're saying the offense is unimaginative. And I guess that could mean different things to different people. The defense needs a lot of work. But yeah, when you got Adam Thielen and Jefferson, you got to do better. And Dalvin Cook, come on, you got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. You just got to do better. You put them guys on the Giants, and people will be like, Daniel Jones, Hall of Fame.
Man, we talked about the brain trust. We talked about how good a job teams like the Buccaneers did, and putting together their roster under the cap. And, they just extend Kirk Cousins, and they didn't even put incentives in there. I mean, he would have had to have an incentive-laden contract if I had anything to do with it, So he does some good things. He does some good things, no doubt about it. But, I think he's got the Trubisky gene. All right, let's go ahead and talk about it real quick. It gave me a headache. It hurt my heart. Henry Ruggs, DUI arrest and release. They're saying he was like 190-some miles per hour, intoxicated with a passenger, killed a lady and her dog. Arrested, out on bail from what I understand. And one thing I did read was that in Nevada, there is no probation for this type of conviction. So if he gets convicted, we're looking at 2 to 20 for a man who had a promising NFL career, and was a focal part of that team. It's just, I'm sad for him. I'm sad for her, the lady who lost her life, and their family. It just seems so unnecessary.
Totally unnecessary. A couple of side notes I heard. One was, when he makes a big play or he scores a touchdown, He puts up three fingers. That's supposed to be a tribute to somebody that he played with, either in college or high school or something, a friend of his, who lost his life in a car accident.
Wow.
So I don't know the circumstances of how that happened. All right. But if you're going to drink to the point of being double over the legal limit and then drive your car at 150 plus miles an hour in the city, and from what I heard, it was a residential area. Like, dude, what are you doing? I don't even care he had a gun in the car, but you know they had to throw that in.
Oh, yeah, they threw it in there. It's like they threw the part about he killed the dog, too. You might get some extra time for that.
Hey, it's not a good look. And any leniency that he may have maybe been able to, his lawyer may be able to wiggle out, some of that's going to go away too, because he had a passenger in the car and she got hurt. Like, it's not life-threatening, but she's kind of jacked up. So, not only did you not think about your life, but you didn't think about your passenger's life. And then you hit a complete stranger and took that person's life. Like, there's nothing good going to come out of this for this guy. It's a shame.
And the Raiders pretty much straight up released him. Bam. Just like that.
Yeah, they gotta cut ties with that.
They just can't cut ties with them, man. And
yeah, they can't mess with that.
That's the challenge when you call yourself family, and then when they do something like this, family does something like that.
That's why Derek Carr spoke out.
Yeah, we're going to court with the person. It's like, but that's just a challenge. It's just a challenge. Okay. All right, let's move on. Mike White, Ben. Let's just play the video.
Wait, they made him Offensive Player of the Week?
Or whatever his name is.
Oh, man, y'all going too far now.
Gets back soon. Oh, no, you know what? He's had a PCL. He's out. They said 2 to 4 weeks. But a PCL, that's 4 weeks. What the heck? The Kurt Warner story. Who's this guy? I don't know, but he doesn't look handsome enough to be Kurt Warner. He doesn't look anything like Kurt Warner at all. At all, I know. Because he's going to have to act his way into this. But or does he look like or does he look like an actor I'm even familiar with? Trying to figure out. I'm going to watch it. What's the guy coming in for the Jets, White? Yeah, he's Mike White. I'm going to watch it.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry, bro.
Look at Mike, man. Look at Mike here.
I made fun of Mike. I gotta apologize. He took his team to a win. I gotta give it to him, man.
Mike White's jersey went into the Hall of Fame, man.
Oh,
remember
Lord.
when Nick Foles' jersey went in?
Yeah.
We were talking about whether or not, if the jersey went in, but the person doesn't go in. But that's, how they kind of do it.
It was just a significant something that happened while he had this jersey on. I don't know.
At least we recognize Mike White, and we mentioned him before he became infamous.
Oh, absolutely. I wasn't really dissing Mike White. I was kind of dissing his name. Like, how
I said to my daughter, I said, he has the most anonymous name.
That's like Joe Smith.
I mean, you know what I mean?
White. John Brown. You know what I mean? It's just one of those names.
When I looked, I'm like, well, first of all, I didn't know he was 6'5", number one. So Mike White ain't no little guy. He ain't no Tua, or nothing like that. So it's very interesting. So we'll have to see whether or not he turns out to be Tom Brady. But I just had to throw that in because, hey, look, when we're wrong, we're wrong. Sometimes we just have to face it and have some fun with it. Mike White, the official apology from Ben and Barry on football.
Sad.
All right, that's all I got.
Oh, I got nothing.
You got nothing? Well, then.
I'm good. I'm looking forward to doing better in week 9 than I did in week 8. I'm embarrassed with my win-loss record for week 8. I got thrown a bit by some teams who really, really let me down, who should have won easily. And I stuck my neck out a couple of times for some teams, namely my Giants. And, you know, I'm not believing in any moral victories or anything like that. The game was close. They had their opportunities. They didn't come through. That would have been a good win for them and for me, but didn't work out that way. So I'm not going to make any excuses. But I believe week 9, I shouldn't even be talking about this because I went with the doggone bias on almost every game except 1 or 2. So I can't even brag. Even if I do well, I can't brag. So
well,
what the hell?
Let you get those couple of outliers that you picked. I mean, you know.
Like 2, though. It's only like 2.
I said a couple, you know. But, hey, those will be big. I
expect to get them.
You know, those will be big.
Yeah, all right. I expect to get them.
We shall see. But next week, maybe we're going to have to include that piece where we actually come back and talk about it, you know, as a little bit more in depth, man. So we'll talk about that. All right. Last words?
Last words is go Noles.